3, and a 2, and all those bad boys, and let's go. All right. Sorry. It's taking a second here. Okay. Good. All right. My attitude determines the outcome. Let those words sit with you for just a second. My attitude determines the outcome. Those are the words that were printed in the Morning 5 Planner. Woke up this morning 3:50 instead of 3:20 because the kids had me up late. I still had to get my 4 hours and 20 minutes. So woke up this morning 3:50 a.m., grabbed my glass of water, grabbed my Morning 5 Planner, and at the top of the Morning 5 Planner, there's always a quote submitted by actual members of this community. Today, the quote was submitted by Tony Smith. Tony's been a member of our community for a while now. She's awesome. And it says here, my attitude determines the outcome. That sat well with me today. I don't know how that sits with you. But it sat well with me today because I did run into a couple little hiccups. As a matter of fact, right before I went, like I set up the whole show and was ready to rock and roll for today. And then there was a cord that was coming out of the top of the PC. And so I went to pull that cord out so that I could connect into Clubhouse the right way. And boom, the whole computer shut down. I was like, oh, that's the kind of morning that we're having. But immediately, Tony's quote popped into my head. The attitude determines the outcome. My attitude is that you and I are going to have an incredible morning together. That you and I are going to spend some time in this space, some time in reflection and some time in connection. We're then going to take that and we're going to go out into the world. Whatever the day is going to bring, the day is going to bring. But knowing that you and I have started in a bond of strength, foundational strength, is what's going to be able to carry us through whatever the day brings. So thanks for being here with me today. I greatly appreciate you. If I haven't told you that before, and actually, if I haven't told you before, I love you. I do. Maybe I'm the first person to tell you that today. I hope I am. Good morning and welcome to Rise and Grind Live. Unlock your full potential with the power of daily motivation, education, inspiration with your host, Glenn Lundy, a husband to one, father to 8, global motivational speaker, and the author of The Morning 5.
I'm Heather Parady, former therapist turned online entrepreneur and wannabe comedian.
Celebrity interviews, transformational information, and a massive community around the #1 morning show in the world. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Wednesday, a.k.a. CMA Day. That's right, Carter Myers Automotive Group, the most amazing automotive group in the United States of America. Just an incredible organization ran by Liza Myers-Borges and her partners, Scott Simons, and many others. Just an incredible organization that for the last few years, I've had the honor of running with them every single Wednesday. Therefore, we call Wednesday CMA Day. That's how that works. It is CMA Day every Wednesday. If you're looking for a career change, you're looking for an opportunity, you're looking to be a part of an organization that cares deeply, and I mean cares deeply about their people, shoot me a message. I can hook you up with the folks over there at CMA. Don't, for real, shoot me a message. Let me know. I know sometimes I get a message from you and you're like, hey, I'm looking, or I'm in a spot, or I'm having challenges financially, or I'm struggling to find my purpose, so on and so forth. It's like, dude, look, ask for what you want. Listen, Glenn, I want to be a part of a bigger organization. I'm willing to move. I'm willing to pack up. I'm willing to go somewhere. I'm ready to change my life. Okay, great. Let me plug you in with the amazing folks over there at CMA. They'll give you an opportunity. Dude, they have 1,148-ish people that work for their organization in all kinds of different roles. Every role that you can think of pretty much exists over there in that organization. So if you're looking to make a change, you're ready to change your life, you're ready to be a part of something bigger, let me know. That is my shameless plug for the amazing Carter Myers Automotive Group. Listen, today is also December 27th, 2023. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be. First and last time it'll ever be. Wednesday, December 27th, 2023. Can you believe it? The year is almost over. Here it is. Here we are at the end of December, the end of 2023. I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, and we're in a series this week called To God Goes the Glory. To God Goes the Glory. And this is a series where we both inspect our ideas and beliefs around spirituality, as well as ask ourselves some bigger questions. Like, one big question we should probably ask ourselves is, what God do you worship? Because believe me, a believer and an atheist both believe in something. Wrong is not always wrong. Right is not always right. So we go on a journey this week. We seek to understand this week. But before we go too far forward, we have to look back. Something that you'll learn about me, something that you need to know is that I believe wholeheartedly in the power of reflection in order to propel us forward. That whole bow and arrow thing, right? You got to pull the cord back in order to launch forward, right? So yesterday we kind of went on a little bit of a journey. Timeline was 2006. I was homeless in San Diego, California. Then fast forward, I get picked up. I end up at the Orange County Church of Scientology. Scientology introduces me to the idea that we are spiritual beings. I then take that idea, I leave the Church of Scientology. I start learning about God through different studies. I study Buddhism, I study Catholicism. Ultimately, I find my way to spiritual understanding through Jesus and the study of Christianity. So I make my way back to Scottsdale, Arizona. When I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona, I'm with a guy named Lance Green. We get pulled over. They run me. I've got warrants. They send me to Durango. Durango is a jail out there, prison out there, whatever you want to call it. I spend some time there. While I'm there, I'm seeking to understand this whole spirituality thing. I'm seeking to understand what God looks like. Now, while I'm there, I'm also making phone calls, calling my mom, calling my Aunt Robin, and I'm writing letters. I'm writing letters to my aunt, lots of letters, which ultimately she ends up keeping, making copies of, and recently she gives them to me. I've got them all here. Page after page after page. The bail bonds pages that I was writing Bible verses on, and all my different court papers. Every piece of paper I could find, I was just writing in the margins. Paper was a hot commodity. So as you can see here on the screen, just pages and 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 pages of writing. Now, fast forward, as I looked through these a little bit more yesterday, after yesterday's show, there's actually 2 seasons in here. Both seasons where I was in jail. Both seasons where I was seeking to understand. Both seasons where I was communicating with my mom and ultimately my Aunt Robin. So fast forward, I get out of jail in Durango, and I get the heck out of Arizona as fast as I can. I get out of Arizona. I move to Kentucky. I've got $1,500 cash in a suitcase. I moved to Kentucky thanks to a guy named Aaron Jones and his sister. I get an opportunity. I stay on his sister's couch for about 6 months. I find a church called Southland Christian Church. Start going to a thing called 608 p.m. on Sunday nights. Start going to church, trying to get a better understanding. I'm seeking to understand the spiritual aspect of self. Don't get it twisted. I'm not seeking to understand the religious aspect of the church. I'm seeking to understand the spiritual aspect of myself. So fast forward, I'm in Kentucky. I get a phone call. My dad, who's 52 years old, has passed away. He was healthy, that we thought. He was out refereeing basketball. He was running up and down. It was a complete shock. He wasn't sick or anything like that. He laid down on a Sunday afternoon and he never woke up. So I get the call. I go back to Flagstaff, Arizona. I go to my dad's funeral. First I went to San Diego and swam in the ocean waters. Then I went from there. I drove back home for the funeral. Somewhere in between that space, I sat down for 2 hours and I wrote a speech. And it was the first speech that I've ever written in my entire life. And it was the speech that I had been, or maybe I chose to share at my dad's funeral. Now, in with these letters, my Aunt Robin also sent me, I didn't know this, I didn't know she had this, but she also sent me a copy of the speech, the actual speech that I gave at my dad's eulogy. And here I am seeking to understand God. I've just gotten out of jail. I'm living in Kentucky. I've never given a speech before. I've never written a speech. I've never done anything like this. And they asked me to do it. So I show up at the funeral. Now, this is Dad's funeral. This is my dad, 52 years old, surprised by his death. I show up at the funeral. And there are over 500 people at the funeral. There's people everywhere, man. It's nuts. It's fully packed at the funeral home. There's people out the door. It was unbelievable how many people were there. And here I am, still in a little bit of shock that my dad just passed away. Everybody's in tears. It's a very emotional time. And they asked me to go up and give a speech, my very first speech ever. Drop it in the comments if you'd like me to share it with you. Because it's up to you if I share it with you or not. It's not long. It's not long, but this is your show. We can just go straight into singing and dancing, so on and so forth, or I can share it with you. It's up to you. It's up to you. So Randy says he'd like to share. Mary Lynn Wilkins says, please share. All right. Dora Maria says, share it. Okay. West Storm says, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Emma Primacino says, yes. Okay. Share it. Christina Howard says, share it. Amun Raloid says, share it. Okay. All right. All right. Renee says she would love to hear it. All right. Thank you, Renee. Maria says she'd like to hear it. Soul Cecito says, it's up to you. It's up to you. Thank you, Soul. You're such a light. Carrie Lynn Carter says, please do. Tara Hope, please do. Renee Hayes. Okay. All right. For those of you that didn't say anything, you should have spoke up. If you didn't want to hear it, you should have let me know. Raise your voice. No more quiet voices around here. All right. So here it is. All right. Remember, boom. in and out of jail, trying to figure out spirituality. Ran to Kentucky to get away from Arizona, go back to Arizona, 500 people. And they asked me to give a speech. Smile. That's the overall message Pops wants me to portray. Smile. It's a celebration, not a grievance. Look at all the things that have come out of this already. Calls from old enemies, family members brought together that haven't seen each other in years. A myriad of people, all affected by a great man. I want to start by thanking the good Lord for allowing us an opportunity to celebrate the passing of an amazing man. That's what this is, a celebration. It's a time to reflect. Yeah, we can do that. It's a time to remember. Yeah, we can do that too. But most importantly, this is a time to celebrate. Glenn Bernard Lundy Sr., born in Dade City, Florida, 52 years, 4 months, and 11 days ago. My father. God took him. And that's what we're here to celebrate. God took him. God couldn't wait no more. God said, I let you have him for 52 years and now I'm taking him back. You see, God missed him that much. Such a special man that God couldn't wait no more. And I don't blame him. As a matter of fact, I'm jealous. Think about it. Pops earned his ticket. And now he's sitting next to the boss himself, looking down on us right now with a smile on his face from ear to ear. For him to be able to see all the lives he's touched, to have all of his aches and pains gone, to be able to see all of us from all the way up there without them thick old glasses of his. He is in heaven, literally in heaven. And now it's time for us to celebrate that. You see, you have to understand, though I always hated talking about it, my father always said the same thing about death. The first thing he always said to me was that when it was his time, he hopes he just falls asleep someday. Falls asleep and just never wakes up. Snug and cozy, socks on his feet. Thank you, Jesus, for that. He also told me that he wasn't afraid of death. You see, death to him meant life. Death to my father meant he was going home to see his mom. Death to my father meant that he was going to reunite with his lost brothers and sisters, and he was going to sit around playing spades and listening to music with his 18-inch subwoofers banging in the background. You see, my father wasn't afraid of death. Death to my father meant roller skating all night long, pain-free. Death to my father meant refereeing an ungodly number of high school basketball games, back to back to back to back. You see, death to my father meant an NBA league pass with unlimited access to Lakers games in a world where Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal actually got along. You see, my father wasn't afraid of death. Death to my father meant he was going to show the good Lord how to dance. Death to my father meant a big barbecue in the sky with all the fried chicken you can eat and a selection of fanny packs to keep his wallet in while he wears his sweatpants with no pockets, his Dolphins beanie, and a pair of Lakers Converse with the high backs for that extra support. Best description of my father ever right there. Death to my father meant eternal peace, eternal happiness, and eternal joy. My father wasn't afraid of death. There was one thing that my father was afraid of, though. My father was afraid that when he died, we'd mourn. He was afraid that his death would cause pain and sorrow, that he would be missed more than remembered, that all the hard work he put into getting the word bonehead in the dictionary was going to go to waste. You see, ask anyone who knew my father to describe him, and what's the first thing they're going to say? Smiling. He was always smiling. His smile was infectious. You couldn't help but smile back. That was his trademark. That was what mattered to him more than anything. His goal in life was to make people smile. That was it. And with that in mind, he used to tell me all the time, JR, when I die, I want a party. I want a big celebration in my name. I want people to laugh and dance and have fun. I want to go out with a bang. Don't miss me. Just remember me. Don't miss me. Just remember me. Don't miss me. Just remember me. Well, I miss him. I do. And I'm sure many of you guys do too. I miss him huge. But we have to remember who he was. We have to celebrate his good fortune. We got to celebrate the fact that God couldn't wait no more. Pops, you're an amazing man. You've touched so many lives in so many ways. And I am so incredibly proud to be your son. You will be remembered and your life will be celebrated. God bless you on your journey. I'll catch up with you later. And that was it. Those were the words of my first speech ever given on a stage in front of 500 people. It was crazy because I was able to keep it together. I don't know how. And the whole audience was laughing and cheering, not cheering, but laughing and like, you know, in it. There wasn't a dry eye in the building. And I remember that moment so clearly. And I share that moment with you because when I reflect back and I think about this, me being on that stage was God's way of setting the stage. You see, sometimes we get into these conversations about God. And when we get into these conversations about God, sometimes earthly things like religion get in the way. So this week, like I told Heather, I said, this, to God be the glory. This is not a week about Christianity. This is a week where I am hoping that through the experiences that have been documented in my life, they're crazy, right? But through the experiences that have been documented in my life, maybe, just maybe, you can see the design that exists in yours. See, what these letters allow me to do is reflect, and I look back through them. And same for you, as you reflect and look back through your life, you should be able to find, if you seek to understand, you should be able to find choreography, intention. You see, in my life, I was taught and believed for a very long time that I was random, that life was random, that the experiences were random. Big bangs and collisions of planets and dust particles over billions of years that have evolved into single cell organisms that crawled out of the ocean that created this elaborate menagerie that ultimately became Glenn Lundy. I believed that for a long time. And I lived my life that way. I lived my life randomly. Collisions, chaos, confusion, feeling less than. But as I'm getting a little older, mentally, not physically, I refuse to get older physically. It's happening, but I refuse. I can see, like what Steve Jobs talked about, right? You can only connect the dots looking back. You can't connect them looking forward. I can see all the pieces. There's, I don't know if you can see this or not, and we're just totally off script today, by the way. I've got Wacky Wednesday. I've got driving in a truck with Heather. I've got a video from YouTube that we're supposed to play. I've got specific documents that I want to read here. I got all this. And now here I am completely off script. But I don't care. I want you to look at this. Where is it at? Yeah, it's probably in here. Yeah, I want you to look at this. You feel me, Young Johnson? Yeah, we can do that, Melvin, in just a minute. All right, check it out. So I have a remarkable tablet. If you don't have one of these, they're amazing. But hopefully you can see. Maybe if I put it on this camera, it'll be a little bit easier. That way I can see it too. Okay. So this is a remarkable tablet. And in this tablet, I have written out my life, right? What I want it to look like. So here is a picture of me and my wife. And I am an incredible artist, as you can see. For those of you who click on Clubhouse, just click the link at the top of the room. You'll see what an incredible artist I am. So this is me and my wife. It's to scale, right? I'm much taller than she is. And as you can see, it says, husband, truly the best in the world. Honor my wife, empower my wife, encourage my wife, inspire my wife, love relentlessly, pursue tirelessly, and allow her to live joyous and full. All right? Now look at this. I'm going to scroll to the next page. Okay? Father, truly world class. Now, as you can see, this is a very clear depiction of me and all 8 of my children. Okay, again, I'm an incredible artist. So it says, Father, truly world class, lead by example, intentional with time. Learn, grow, develop together. Allow them in. Guide strategically. Love ridiculously. Honor and respect them. Teach them healthy habits by example. Be truthful. Show them the world. Then look, I'm going to slide over again. All right, this is me on the biggest stage I can imagine in the world. And this says, #1 speaker in the world. You see all those beautiful people. There's me up on the big screens, right? Sometimes I'm blown away at my artistic abilities. #1 speaker in the world. Deliver powerful, consistent message on unlocking your potential through identity. To God be the glory. Travel the world, Dubai, Shanghai, Belize, Africa, everywhere with kids. Inspire 8 billion people. Now we're going to slide to the next one. All right. This is me at like a Johnny Carson style desk. I'm interviewing like, I don't know who I'm interviewing. It's like Drake and Britney Spears or something. #1 morning show host in the world. Motivation, education, inspiration, celebrity interviews, and thought-provoking conversations. Great shape. I'm referring to the stage. Powerful deliveries. Johnny Carson style. Natural, authentic, real, all light. No agendas. Global reach. 5 days a week. 7 a.m. Eastern time. Or best time is what it says. Look. 800% club. Massive events. Bringing people together, equipping them with the tools they need to succeed, inspiring them to greatness. The most incredible speakers, world-class venues. What does that word say? Oh, fully engaged conversations. No pitches. The main stage is the main event. Memorable experiences from morning hikes to workouts, etc. Okay? And we're going to go back. Our next page. New York Times best-selling author. That's me. That's me right there up at the desk. I'm signing books. As you can see, I'm at a book signing. There's a bunch of people lined up, some taller people, some shorter people. There's even a little kid. You see that? New York Times #1 best-selling author, global distribution, 99 languages, bringing people together, helping them understand their identity and unlocking their full potential, equipping them with the tools they need to succeed, including a morning routine, inspiring them spiritually, Oprah Book Club, every media outlet, global phenomena, Harry Potter numbers, which if you don't know Harry Potter numbers, bro, second best-selling book series of all time is the Harry Potter series. All right, let's keep going. Here we are. This is my depiction of Times Square in New York. #1 rated TV show / podcast in the world, 2 doors down. Speaking to identity, the beauty in our differences, unlocking full potential, understanding you are a spiritual being, bringing people together, inspiring them, laughing at each other collectively. Okay? And here's the last one. Now, this is a picture that I drew of Jesus, the man who I studied and have followed and who has connected me directly to God through his life, through his story. And here's a picture of him, and it says, a powerful relationship with my Creator. One where I know him, I understand him, I collaborate with him. Is that what that says? Hold on. I conversate with him. I learn from him. I am mentored by him. I am close to him. I am seeking him. I am honoring him. I think like him. I walk like him. I speak like him. I love like him. I impact like him. There it is. Those 8 pages, I wrote all of that. I wrote that before I became the #1 speaker in America. I did have 8 kids at the time. But when I look at this, well, I want you, when you look at that, and when you look at this, the speech, and when you look at this, these letters, when you look at all of those things, do you not see design? Can you, when you look at your life, when you look at all the pieces, like look at the through lines through all of this, okay? Like when I read these letters that I wrote, here's one right here. Look, this one right here. It says, there is a message to be delivered. People today need light. There's so much darkness and despair, war, disease, plague, racism, unfairness. I can change that. I can change that, if not one person at a time. I can make a promise and an oath that I will help all I can help. I will embrace all I can embrace. I will study diligently and adopt the ways which will benefit others far beyond my own self. My project will be for the community. My words will be for my students. My activities will benefit those around me, and my heart will belong to the Lord. May he guide me on my journey, protect me from my demons, protect me from myself. With God in my corner, I can make a difference, and a difference I will make. I wrote that in 2007. And as you go through all of these different letters, there's discussions of morning shows and bringing people together, equipping them with the tools they need to succeed, inspiring them to be great, unlocking their full potential. Messages that I was writing to myself, but ultimately writing to you. So listen, we'll keep going down this rabbit hole, and Heather, please don't get mad at me. Heather's going to be here today, so I'm excited to see her. I will get these segments in. The Wacky World Wednesday, we're going to get it in tomorrow. We're not going to do an AI segment. We're going to do a Wacky World segment. And the other segments, her and I shot, I'll get those in tomorrow too. But today, I just wanted to, I don't know what I wanted to do. Today, God asked me to share this letter. Today, God asked me to share my notebook. Today, God asked me to pull back the curtain and to share my letters from jail. Today, God asked me to share this space with you simply to remind you, or maybe to spark in you, the idea that it's not all for naught. That it's not chaos and confusion, whatever season it is that you're going through, the experiences that you're experiencing, there is divine intention behind all of it. So take the opportunity today to celebrate, to literally celebrate the season that you're in, to be able to smile and understand that it's all part of something bigger than you. And if you feel like there's no God in your heart, or there's no God that you're connected to, or God's not there for you, he told me to tell you this. He says, don't miss me. Just remember me. Because missing comes from lack. And he's not gone. Remember that he's there. You'll feel his embrace. You'll feel his warmth. You'll feel the connection to source. And it'll give you the opportunity to celebrate the season. I'm going to head over to Clubhouse. This will be an interesting conversation over there. I am quite certain. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m., and we will do this all over again. I think here's what I need, because I don't have it there for some reason. So let me just add it in, because that's what we're doing today. Really just flowing from the chest, right? I need that. You might need that too. There it is. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. Let's go. Have a great day. Thanks for being here. Peace.
You're not so far away. I saw you not so long ago. Was it just yesterday? Got that old feeling that I know. In the dark of the night, I'll be alright. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. A sea of messages overtaking what I know. A war is a whisper, and it's coming for my soul. In the dark of the night, I can see the light. The sun will arise. 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 When I was broken, you came and set me free. I was searching for someone to fight for me. I'll remember it's your light that shines on me. I won't be afraid, I will look to the light. I will not be shaken, I know it will be alright. 'Cause you're with me, I know that the sun will rise.